you. Welcome to yet another edition of the Artist Spotlight Show with your friend Russell K, along with my partner in crime, Karen, with Biker Bay Barber and Company. And in just a few moments, we're going to introduce another artist. We are rocking here at the Merle Fest 2026. We're getting interviews like back to back and beat to beat. And so Jordan Pickett is in the house, and we're going to find a little bit more about him. We're going to find out about his musical journey, how that began for him. What is he doing right now? And what is his thoughts about Merle Fest 2026? So with that being said, let's turn over to our beat reporter, Karen. Take it away.
It's a pleasure to introduce y'all to this guy right here because Gary Foster's a dear friend of mine back from when I was 15 years old, and the band that he's got together, there's a few other guys. It's like part of the family that I grew up with. So Jordan Pickett is the lead front guy. He'll be singing today. We're going to have a very good listen to him shortly. So anyway, I want to introduce, this is Jordan Pickett.
Hey y'all, Jordan Pickett. How's it going?
So anyway,
nice to see you, my friend.
We're going to go ahead and ask him what got him started in the music world, and where's he going with it?
Yeah, well, when I was around, 17 years old, my grandpa passed away, and I wrote my first song. And from there, I just kept singing and writing and playing, and I progressed playing out just for tips for local people and venues around where I'm from, which is Silcope, North Carolina. And from there, it just kind of grew, and we started learning more about audio and buying speakers, and we bought me a guitar that would go a good distance, and I could play, and my dad has been a very big help in that journey, and my whole family in general, and it's just been a journey. I think that's what I love to describe music, and my life with it is it's a journey. Life is a journey, and I started singing in church. I started playing the piano in church. I didn't even know how to play piano, but I became the pianist at my church. And my music grew even more. My faith grew, my music grew, and they grew together. And so as my music picked up and I started playing everywhere, I'd find myself at a festival. Maybe not quite as big as Merle Fest yet, but I would find myself playing for festivals. I'd find myself playing at bars and venues. But one thing that stayed true and stayed there was my faith. And Jesus was always with me. He's with me in this moment, in this interview, because I don't even know what I'm saying, but I know that he goes before me. And so, yes, I love Merle Haggard. I love George Jones, and I also love Jesus. And that kind of sums me up as an artist.
Oh, that is so awesome. I'd love to hear that. So if you had to pick one artist that your voice kind of mimics, who would that be that you practiced with all the time?
Well, that I guess it'd be two different answers. A lot of people say that I sound like Eric Church, and I'd like to sound like Merle Haggard. That's my kind of idol in country music is Merle Haggard, and I love his stories and his lyrics and his songs, and so that's who
That's cool.
like to listen.
So you guys were just in Myrtle Beach Friday night while I was there. We played at Bourbon Cowboy at 3001. We get a lot of bookings for you guys down there, so I just couldn't make it for that one. But glad to see you here and finally get to meet you.
Yeah.
So where's your next big adventure? Might not be as big as this, but where's your next one going to be?
Well, like you just mentioned, we played Bourbon Cowboy, and we're hoping to be back there. So if you guys are in Myrtle Beach, be on the lookout for that. And we will also be playing in Wilkesboro a whole lot more. Tomorrow we'll be at Paul's Family Distillery.
And I will be there.
Yeah, that'd be great. So that's kind of our very next thing is we'll be at Call right here tomorrow. So it's just across the street from Merle Fest. So if you're here, just hang around.
Super awesome.
We'll be here 12 to 3.
What was your first instrument that you played?
It was drums. I was going to play guitar, but it was drums. And I would recommend that actually as a first instrument because it taught me a lot about rhythm and how to count and beats, and it also helped me because from there, whatever instrument I picked up, it followed along. You have to have a rhythm. You have to have that feeling. You have to know what the drummer's doing while you're playing whatever instrument you move on to. And so I ventured into piano, and I was in concert band in high school and middle school, and So I've learned all kinds of instruments, but yeah, I started on drums, and it gave me a good foundation.
Do you play by ear or do you play by notes or both?
You know, funny story, in middle school, when I tried out for All County, I made it, but I didn't read a dang thing on that sheet. And I just made it up, is what I did. And all I knew how to do was play, but I couldn't read. So I just did what I knew how to do, and I think that's all you can do in life. And it worked, and it's got me here at Merlefest. So
How old are you?
I'm 23.
You're the youngest artist that I've had interviewed with, and this is so awesome because, yeah, it's super cool. I'd like to see you go a lot further, and I'm sure you will.
Yeah, I appreciate it, but it's a big support system. You know, it's more than just me. I'm the guy on the camera, but right now my dad's in the background. My family are, trying to figure out golf carts and situations how to get to the stage. Everybody's scrambling. My brother's back home supporting and cheering us on, and it's just a big group thing, and I couldn't do it all on my own. And we appreciate you for allowing us to interview, and appreciate everybody that's helped us get here.
Let's go back to Russell and see if he has any questions for us.
Actually, I do. In the music industry, there's always going to be, upcomings and short and just like adversity and everything. How do you deal with adversity in the music industry?
You got to keep on keeping on, man. I've learned you cannot please everybody, but it's good to try. And I've also learned that I don't work for man. I work for the Lord, and so I can't please people. But if I'm pleasing God, then I'll be okay. So there's lots of challenges, but like I just mentioned earlier, I've got faith and I've got my family, and the way we kind of grew up, learning how to fix things and work on things and do things on your own. If all you got's a tent and a few screwdrivers, you'll be okay. And so shout out to Dad for that. But
shout out, Dad.
Yeah, but that's just kind of how I grew up and was raised, and so yeah, you go through challenges, but whether it's music or whatever career you do or whatever it is, life is hard. Life's going to have challenges, and you just got to have confidence in yourself and be able to push through. And I think that's important.
I totally agree.
Another question for you. What is the best advice you ever got in the music industry?
Wow. Oh, man. That's a deep one, man.
We get paid for that, by the way.
I will say one of the earliest feedback situations I got was with a local friend who had traveled in from South Africa. Her name was Sunette Bridges, and her father was very popular in South Africa, named Les Bridges. And she built a studio in Silcope, where I'm from, and we got together, and I said, I would love to record your studio, and she said, let's hear you sing, and let's see what you got. And so I kind of came over on a casual setting, and we talked, we chatted, and I sang a few songs that I wrote for her, and her opinion, without even knowing her too well, I already respected, and she gave me some honest feedback, some that was, hey, that was really good, and some that was, hey, this is what you can work on. And so I took that, and it's kind of like American Idol. I was like, some of it felt good about, some of it I was like, she hurt my feelings. But I took the advice, and I remember she told me to articulate, and she said I was a little bit nasally, and so I left there at first like, what's she talking about? I'm not nasally, but looking back, I was nasally. I needed to articulate, and I tried to grow on that. I said, whether I think it or not, I'm gonna try to do what you're saying, because she's done this a whole lot more than I have. So I tried to learn how to articulate and sing properly, and I'm still working on it, but it has definitely helped me progress in music, and I've actually gotten compliments saying how well I can articulate, and that I'm not nasally. And when that happens, I'm like, wow, well, I guess that goes back to Sunette. So thank you, and shout out to you for that. That's right. So, but never been too big to get advice from somebody, and it's easy to do, because, like I said, right then, You know, I hadn't even played very many shows, and I was already like, push, you know. But it's very important to humble yourself and take advice from people.
Awesome. We're going to turn back over to Karen.
Well, I've already answered all my questions. This is an awesome young man. I'm so excited to hear him play. And they've got to get over there right now. And we are headed over there too because I do not want to miss this. So I'll leave it to you to close us out, and we will be over there shortly.
All right.
And thank you for doing it.
I will be back with more. It's so nice to meet you, and thank you for taking time to be interviewing with us on the Artist Spotlight Show. We definitely wish you all the best in your musical journey, and we'll catch up with you here a little bit later on.
All right, sounds good. Appreciate it a whole lot.
All right, take care of yourself and have a great show.